the clothes you wear, the color of your car. Everybody's talking about you. Yeah, you. A couple years down the road, you moved way out west. I see you made it out to LA, hooking up with the best. They're all over you. Decided back in school, you got a place of your own, and they'll never ever leave you alone. Well, let me tell you now, I know it all along. Life ain't treating you wrong. The places you've been, I knew you win, and now you're a star. Everybody's talking about you. I finally got you on the phone. You seem glad to get my call. Until I started talking about me, but you didn't hear nothing at all. Well, let me tell you now, we know it all along. Oh, what's keeping you strong? Your vanity for the world to see. It's in your blood. Everybody's talking about you. Yeah, you. Well, everybody's talking about you. Oh, yeah. Well, everybody's talking about you. Everybody's talking about you.
Thanks for listening. That was Everybody's Talking About You, a track I wrote that felt just right to open this episode. Welcome. You're listening to Layer by Layer Go, the podcast that brings music, great food, and life hacks to life. I'm your host, Don, and I'm glad you're here today. This is a very special episode I'm so happy to give to you. It's titled Sizzle Swagger, and for a good reason. Now that we've gotten through our first 5 episodes, along with my bonus shorty on the power of journaling, I wanted to make a bold statement. And for you songwriters, this episode will also mark the first of my 3-part series on how to market your music. All about how to market your music without selling your soul. No algorithms, no empty hype, just truth, craft, and the kind of inner fire that makes a crowd lean in. More on that later. But for now, let's talk about swagger. Today we're talking about swagger, not ego, not loudmouth bravado. I'm talking real swagger, the kind that comes from knowing exactly who you are, what you're about, and not giving away your voice to earn somebody else's applause. Let's walk tall. We're spotlighting 3 swagger tracks today. One from me, one modern classic, and one from the godfather of grit himself. Let's start with mine, the one you heard just a couple of minutes ago. Everybody's Talking About You is a rocker off my album, A World of Our Own. It's got that old school Aerosmith groove, but the heart of the song is about a real friend, someone who made it big and got swallowed by their own reflection. The verses walk with rhythm, a little sarcastic, a little admiring, until it turns. You try to reach them, and they're not really listening. That's not swagger. That's ego gone solo. In the lyrics, which you can find on the website, layerbylayergo.com, and the blog post, I intended for you to feel a shift in that last chorus. That's where the mirror cracks. And if you're an artist, you know that's a danger. When you stop listening, stop learning, you lose the music before the world even hears it. Let's zoom out. Next up, I'd like to talk about that amazing track, Bad to the Bone, and George Thorogood's signature growl. And there are links to all the songs in my show at layerbylayergo.com. Bad to the Bone is cartoonishly cocky. All blues, shuffle, and sneer. But here's the thing. That kind of bravado only works when it's built on real chops. And Thorogood had them. He wasn't acting. That slide guitar swagger had teeth. Where did it come from? Muddy Waters, Hoochie Coochie Man. Willie Dixon's lyrics, Chicago Grit. That song is the blueprint of blues strut. Mythic, prophetic, all-knowing. I got a black cat bone. I got a mojo too. He's not just bragging. He's claiming legacy. That's not ego. That's ownership. Swagger in songwriting isn't just about strut and snarl. It's about conviction. It's that unshakable center. The moment your character walks into the room and everybody knows it, it might come with a growl like George Thorogood, or it might glide in silken fire like Tina Turner. Either way, it's not about ego. It's about presence. The word swagger dates back to the 1500s from the Old English term swag, meaning to sway or lurch. Shakespeare even used it. Over time, it evolved to mean walking with confidence or arrogance. But in today's creative sense, it's not about arrogance. It's about intentional rhythm in the way someone shows up in the world. If you're a songwriter looking to tap into that, remember, swagger isn't a genre, it's a stance. It doesn't have to be loud or masculine or bluesy. It just has to own its identity without apology. Take Beyoncé, for example, and Run the World, Girls. She sings, "My persuasion can build a nation. Endless power with our love we can devour." That's swagger. That's not just attitude, but belief and impact. Her voice rides the beat like it was born there. And the lyrics announce her dominance without needing permission. It's feminine, powerful, rhythmic, and intentional. So how do you write swagger? Write characters who don't shrink. Use verbs that walk tall. Trim the fat from your lines and let the phrasing hit like it means something. Swagger doesn't beg, it declares. And when it's wrapped in denim and smoke or high heels and harmony, if it walks in like it belongs there, that's swagger. Here are a few artists you already know that you could strut their stuff. Prince effortlessly mixed sensuality, confidence, and control, in heels no less. He owned his vibe and made no apologies. Janis Joplin, raw, real, and unfiltered. Her voice cracked with power, but it was her truth-telling that gave her swagger. Freddie Mercury, theater, strut, vocal dominance. He could hold 100,000 people in the palm of his hand with one raised fist. Tina Turner, grace and fire and motion. From her legs to her voice, she didn't just sing it, she became it. David Bowie, swagger by reinvention. Cool, alien, glamorous, and always in command of the moment. Aretha Franklin, no growl needed. Her voice commanded respect and declared self-worth. Her swagger was soulful and royal. Mick Jagger, the strut that launched 1,000 stages. he turned cocky groove into global stagecraft. And hey, what rhymes with Jagger? Pink. Rough edges, powerful vocals, and unfiltered lyrics. Her swagger comes from survival and standing tall. So let's step into the kitchen now. What dish says slow-cooked swagger better than Chicken Cacciatore? It's bold, it's rustic, and if you rush it, you ruin it. Like real confidence, it's layered, built over time, never faked. Here are the ingredients. 4 chicken thighs, bone in, skin on. Salt, pepper, olive oil. 1 onion sliced. 3 garlic cloves minced. 1 red bell pepper. 1 cup of mushrooms. A half cup of red wine. It's optional, but I recommend it. 1 can of crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes. You probably only need a 14-ounce can. You'll need some oregano, basil, maybe a little hot pepper if you're feeling brave, or you could just use an Italian seasoning. And then my little touch of swagger is a half cup of pitted black olives. Here's the instructions. Brown the chicken, skin side down, golden and unapologetic. You want to brown each side for about maybe 4 minutes in olive oil. Be 4 minutes and then give it a flip and do the other side for 4 minutes. You've got brown chicken. Okay, pull that out, set it aside. Saute your veggies in the same pan. The onions, garlic, mushrooms, peppers. Let them get soft and soulful. That'll take maybe about 5 minutes. And then deglaze it with wine. That's your swagger kick. That's where you're going to pull all that flavor together. Now add your tomatoes and oregano or your Italian seasoning, whatever seasonings you're going to be using. All right. Now nestle the chicken back in. Now you're going to simmer it low for about 40 minutes. Don't rush. You could use an Instant Pot if you want to pressure cook it. I don't know. I kind of like letting it just sort of swagger and simmer there on the stove. But anyhow, and when it's finished, about 40 minutes or so, then you want to add those olives there at the end and tell them that's Don's touch. Serve that over pasta, polenta, or crusty bread. It's got a nice Italian edge to it, preferably to someone worth impressing, or just to yourself, because you know you've earned it. And if you've got that Italian look on your face when you serve that up, oh man, that is sizzle and swagger right there. So there you have it, Chicken Cacciatore, the kind of rustic, flavorful dish that makes you feel like you've wrestled a tomato garden and won. It's bold, it's messy, it's got swagger in a skillet. And hey, if your kitchen looks like a crime scene when you're done, that just means you did it right. All right, wipe off the sauce, pour yourself a glass of something calming or fizzy, and let's roll into today's big takeaway. How to turn confidence into a lifestyle without the need for a leather jacket or a guitar solo. The takeaway, swagger versus ego. Let's bring it back around. Swagger says, I know who I am, and I've got something real to offer. Ego says, look at me. Swagger is quiet confidence, built in the doing. Ego is noise. Swagger is a blues riff walking into a smoky room and saying, let me show you something. Ego is asking, do you like me yet? While forgetting why you picked up the guitar in the first place. If you're marketing your music or your art or your business, remember this. Swagger attracts, ego repels, and soul connects. All right, here's a free writing prompt. This week, open a blank page and start with this. Where does my confidence come from? Write for 5 minutes. Don't overthink, just go. Layer by layer, go. Then ask, who am I really making music for? Here's a planning drill for you. List 3 people who actually need what you create. Give them names, faces. Describe what they feel when they hear your song. That's your audience. Not everyone, just the ones who need to hear you. So now that we've tuned up your confidence, roasted your ego, fed you cacciatore, and handed you a journal, you're probably wondering, okay, cool, but how do I actually get people to hear what I make? Glad you asked, because this is where it begins. We're kicking off part 1 of a brand new 3-part series called How to Market Your Music. And spoiler alert, it doesn't start with TikTok trends, bot comments, or begging your cousin to leave a like. It starts with clarity, audience, and owning what makes your voice worth hearing. Let's plug in and break it down. Section 4, How to Market Your Music, Part 1. So let's shift gears now and dive into the meat of this new series, How to Market Your Music Without Selling Your Soul. Because here's the truth, no one told you when you first picked up that guitar or wrote your first lyric. Nobody's coming to rescue your music. There's no A&R guy in a black leather jacket about to walk into your open mic and sign you to $1 million deal. Well, you never know, but let's keep grounded. There's no Instagram reel that's magically going to blow up and solve all your problems. And even if you do go viral, you still have to build something that lasts, that connects. So how do we market our music like artists, not wannabe influencers? Step 1, know who you're for. Before you spend a dime on ads or pitch a single playlist, before you post anything on social, you've got to ask one honest question. Who am I writing this for? Not what's trending, not what do I think will sell, not how do I copy so-and-so's style. I mean, who is the person who actually needs to hear your song? Close your eyes and picture them. How old are they? What's going on in their life? What do they listen to when nobody's watching? What do they wish someone would say out loud? When you can answer that, you're no longer throwing music into the void. You're sending a message directly to someone who's waiting for it. That's not marketing, that's service. Here's a journal prompt for you as part of this series. Who are you for? Grab your notebook or planner, maybe that shiny new Layer by Layer Go journal if you've got one, and write this out. Here's 2 prompts. Here's your first prompt. What's the message I keep finding in my songs? Look through your lyrics. What do you keep coming back to? Here's your second prompt on this. Who needs to hear that message today? Picture a real person, maybe someone you've met. Maybe it's you 10 years ago. Write about them. All right, here's an action drill for you. This is the listener map. Let's build your listener avatar, a super simple exercise. Write down 3 listener types you're truly speaking to. Give them names if it helps. Example, Brenda, 42, divorced mom, listens to 90s alt rock while cooking dinner, feels invisible sometimes. Music is her escape. Another, Marcus, 28, drives Uber at night, writes poetry he doesn't share, wants to believe he still has a voice. Or maybe me, 16 years old, scared of failing, hiding my sketchbook, waiting for someone to tell me it's okay to try. This is where your message takes root. This is where swagger becomes soul connection. And once you know who you're for, you'll never run out of things to say. You'll just keep writing them songs they never knew they needed. Coming up in part 2, in the next episode, we'll go deeper into tools and tactics, pitching playlists without getting scammed, getting your songs into libraries in sync, and how to use social media without hating your life. But don't rush it. Today's takeaway is this: if you market without clarity, you'll burn it. You'll burn out. If you write from ego, you'll disappear. But if you create from purpose, you'll outlast the trends. And that's a wrap on today's episode, Sizzle Swagger. Your mission this week: cook slow, write real, and walk into the room like your theme song just started playing. If you liked what you heard, check out my album, A World of Our Own, on your favorite streaming service. And if you really liked it, I'm going retro. Drop $25 or more on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll mail you a real-life CD, A World of Our Own. Yeah, like the actual disc. Plastic circle, music inside, signed, sealed, and shipped. US only, because custom forms make me break out in hives. Just leave your mailing address in the message box when you donate. The link, easy. Coffee/Layer by Layer Go. That's COFF.ee/Layer by Layer Go. Next time, we'll talk tools, how to get your music out there without selling your soul or drowning in the scroll. I'm Don, and this is Layer by Layer Go. Catch you next time.